What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into tonight's games. We have a few, and honestly, not much has changed for me at least. So, if you watched my last video, I went into who I thought was going to win this round here, and overall, even from the beginning, where we're doing, I'd say, relatively well. The Clippers losing in the first round was essentially, it broke the bracket up a little bit for the West side. But as far as the individual teams, we're doing pretty good. So, as I had gone over before, and now we do have officially the Battle of California with the Lakers-Warriors. Again, I really didn't see the Warriors not advancing. And on that note, I really don't see the Suns not advancing. I think this 2-0 lead is really to undersell the Suns. That way they don't look like a complete powerhouse when, in my opinion, they do beat the Nuggets. And B, just to show people, the Nuggets are, quote, a good team. I don't think they are on paper, real or fake. They're not a draw. But getting them out 2-0, they're at home. But getting them out 2-0, I think will get a lot of money. Maybe not a lot of money on them, but maybe more money on other teams versus the Suns. This might be to get a lot of money on the Warriors. But either way, I just don't see the Nuggets or the Warriors going to the finals or the Lakers. But I do like the Suns. So in their next game, I like them. And I would pick them down 2-0. If you're a person who likes to do futures, things of that nature, get good odds, I like the Suns to come back and win this series. Sixers, nothing's changing. I still like the Sixers to win. I like them to win the whole thing. I think they've done a great job of flying under the radar. And I went into this before. I think there's going to be an example. So we got Doc versus old team, which is a great narrative. This could be a great example of him blowing a lead. So maybe they go up, 2-0 and drop 3-2, and then they come back and win. I really think something like that will happen, but I think the Sixers will get it done, probably in 7 games. So I like the Sixers and the Suns still. Now, going into tonight's games, we have the Heat and we have the Lakers. So Heat, Knicks, Lakers, Warriors, we really just have to look at the draws, right? What makes more sense, right? Are we going to get the Heat advancing or against the Sixers most probably, or the Knicks? Well, what's interesting is the Knicks and the Heat or the Knicks and the Sixers are in the same division, right? And the Knicks and the Celtics are in the same division. So to me, that's just kind of odd. I don't know if they want to have the same teams playing this many times. And to me, the Heat versus the Sixers is still way more of a draw than the Knicks versus the Sixers. And again, I wasn't too hot on the Heat coming into the playoffs, but I always like to reassess. They also happen to fit my colors. I don't think I forgot about my colors. Again, I really have red and white reigning supreme over the blue and gold, which has been a trend. The blue and gold obviously all won for 2 years ago, all their major teams, and up till now all red white or red white blue, kind of that same scheme has been winning. So like the Sixers, but yeah, not to talk go too much into the weeds here, but as far as Heat and Knicks, I do think it makes more sense for the Heat to advance. It's exciting for the Knicks. I think people are finally behind the Knicks, and I just don't think Brunson and these Mitch Robinson are going to get pushed. It's happened before, sure, but I just don't think they're going to get pushed to the championship. I don't think, yes, Embiid versus Robinson is a great matchup, and we'll look at that going forward if that seems like because he made a statement a while back about how he was the best center, basically in the tri-state region, essentially throwing a jab at Embiid and Royce and whoever the hell the guy is, Nick Claxton for the Nets at the time. And obviously he surpassed him, but I could definitely see that matchup. You have some very interesting matchups, but overall, I think they want to see something fresh. Heat versus Sixers also makes sense because Heat had PJ Tucker last year. Don't have him this year. Sixers have him, and he's that role player that I was talking about. Embiid quite literally said, "We are a PJ Tucker away from winning." So to me, it would make sense he goes against his old team. He is whatever you want to call him, an ambassador for the league. They love him. He's wherever he is, he's there for a reason. So again, not to be too long-winded, but I like Miami to hold. And here I like the Warriors to win this series. As far as the first night, Lakers, Warriors here, Heat, Knicks, I do think that 6.5 is a little heavy. I do think the Knicks are going to win tonight, okay? So I'm going to go into this. I think they're going to win the first game, and I think they might even win the first two. I think they're going to wind up splitting them, but I think they're going to win tonight because of the hype. I think a lot of people, 6.5 is a decent bit of points too. So I think a lot of people are going to be taking the Heat with those points, a lot of your sharps. So for that reason, I think they want to keep this as a close, exciting game. I think the next one after this might be a shellacking. So yeah, this one I absolutely love the Knicks for the cover. So I'm taking the Knicks to cover tonight and even it up, but I still like the Heat to win the entire series. So just to clarify that again, I like the Heat to win the entire series, but tonight specifically, I like the Knicks for the cover to tie it up. And then I think the Heat, like I said before, they'll probably win this one. And this is a new matchup because I wasn't expecting these two teams to match up. But I think the Heat in like 6 games makes sense. So, but what's again important is the cover. I like the Knicks to cover. And then we have Lakers, Warriors here. And this one, it's all over the place. It really is. They lie about the injury reports. We know that. Guys like Reeves, and Clay, and all these other guys, Wiggins, and they still have Schroeder. I think they have Schroeder. I don't know why they wouldn't have Schroeder. But just these random guys, the Wiseman, just coming out of nowhere. You don't know who's going to do good, who's not going to do good. So this one's an interesting one. Again, for the series, I absolutely love the Warriors. In no way do I believe the Lakers are going to the finals. Sure, they can go and get bumped by the Suns, but I think the Warriors Suns, they've been teasing this all year, as I've been saying. So tonight's specific game, I really don't have. What I will say is I like the Lakers money line for one reason tonight. We haven't played a game yet, and I think they might surprise people by having the Lakers win on the road where the Warriors are, quote, unbeatable. And with 4.5, it's not enough for me. I think plus 152 is not that appealing. So I think more people are going to be slamming a little bit extra money on the Warriors money line rather than trying to get lucky. Because plus 150, nobody wants to play those odds. They want plus 200 or better if they're taking underdogs. So this one, again, I think not a lot of people will be on the Lakers. So I'm going to take them, and I like the money line. I like the spread's nice, of course, but I like the money line because plus 150 is still good odds. When you can get a unit and a half from a unit wager, or if you're doing 2 units, you can go and get 3 units from that. It's good odds. So, but the public sees plus 150, and they're way more likely to say, I like this plus 228 better. So that's just how I try and look at it. And again, that's why I have the Knicks covering and the Lakers winning. So again, not too much changed. I got Sixers advancing over the Celtics. I got the Suns coming back and advancing over the Nuggets. And then we're going to have in my opinion, the Heat advance. That way it's not too boring in the East. And the Warriors advance. I think the Suns do beat the Warriors. A little passing of the guard gives Chris Paul some love. And I have Embiid and Doc. The redemption story. He beats his old team. The Celtics, of course, moves on, beats the Heat. And I think he plays and beats the Clippers. Oh, not the Clippers. I'm still on the Clippers. Beats the Suns in the finals. And I think a lot of that lines up. Chris Paul versus Doc. It's almost like he's playing all his old guys. He'll probably retire at the end of the year. So a lot of my Doc theories seem to be lining up, which is cool. The Warriors Suns, not so much yet, but I think the Suns are going to win both at home. If you remember against Dallas last year, they just won every home game and lost every away game. And then they got humiliated at home. I could see that happening, but reversed, where when they're in Denver, whatever it is, game 7, I guess it would be, where maybe they just go insane and Booker gets some redemption, Paul gets some redemption, and I just don't see the Nuggets winning making too much sense. Outside of course, it does work for Vegas. Not a ton of people had the Nuggets, but yeah, I didn't want to be long-winded, but I also understand. I know a lot of guys miss the daily videos, updates, narratives, and I do too. I really do. I love doing these, and I do try and find time. The truth is, The only videos I could really be going into lately would be my chess climbing the ladder. So if you guys want to see me play chess, that's great. But I've been doing some more competitive chess it's basically chess season for those who are into chess. So competitions, tournaments, conferences. Just trying to play online, improve, all that stuff. So I've been playing a lot of chess. I've been picking up classes, and it's just been difficult to get out every single day, especially with the playoffs, because they really creep up on you, and every day there's a game. But we will get back on track, as I said. I just thought if I can cover who I still have winning the entire thing, why. Again, I went into the 76th year, I went into the Doc's redemption, all those things, and who I like to win the individual games tonight and even tomorrow. But for tonight, like I said, we'll do it one night at a time. I do like the Knicks cover again, and I like the Lakers straight up win. So, yeah, I'll be going into more. I was thinking about going into some just deeper stuff. I'll still cover who I think is going to win. If people would prefer to see, just daily the system, that's fine. I feel like I reached a point where people shouldn't need me to every single day tell them 1 unit, 2 unit. I feel like it's almost should be memorized at this point. But if people are doing better with me doing that, please let me know. I'll try and find a way to make that happen. And if you want me to go into, I know a lot of people are talking about, I used to go after not just sports. Mr. Beast, we went after him. I got attacked hard for that. And then I guess he got a little too grandiose and decided he was going to say he cured the blind, and he got exposed after that. So all my Mr. B stuff was on my old channel, which got ripped, of course, and he's been exposed since then anyway, so my job's basically been done for me. But I would love to expose him some more. He's not sports, he's not entertainment, but once people start seeing about that guy, I'm telling you, he's one of the biggest frauds there is. And also my older videos, I was going into Kobe Bryant, what I think happened with him. A lot of the symbolism, what they do with some of these teams, some of these players. I went into Tony Saragusa, all that stuff. So I might be going, if you guys are interested, of course, I'll go into that. I can go into what I believe happened with some players. Manning versus Brady. I think that would be a great one. It's not talked about. Why is Manning treated so much different than Brady? Maybe Bird versus Jordan. So if you guys want to see some of that style, please let me know. Like I said, I'm down to do anything. And I just don't want to do something that's going to be redundant. And I did the system as long as I could. And, it's really just, copying me, and which is fine. But I feel like at this point, people should no matter who you're picking, if you just incorporate my system, it'll work. So, if there's people, like I said, that really like those hands-on videos, I do understand. It is way more time consuming, but I could find a way to make it work. But if the people watching the channel, if you do understand the system, because I've went over it so many times, and you really don't need my picks every night, you just have to know how the system works, which I've gone into, then I can start going into other stuff. And of course I can always go into more, as I said, hands-on approaches with the system, where at least every night, for the people that still are newer to it, or if it's your first time seeing me, you'll have an idea of, okay, I still have some kind of template here of how many units on which team, why, and etc. Baseball we're going to get back into. Like I said, all these seasons just kind of ended and started at the same time. It's a little overwhelming, and then at the same time I had a lot of other stuff going on. So I thought, well, instead of just throwing out baseball and then kind of getting halfway into a series and then we're shot, we basically completed one series, did fine, and then just never really got it going again because of all the other sports. So we'll go into that. But yeah, the best I can say is thank you for the people that have been patient. I know you went from getting a bunch of videos a day to once every couple days, and I promise it's not laziness. It was honestly, I wasn't sleeping much when I was putting out 3, 4, 5 videos a day, and I was really trying to make it as easy as possible for people. But it was also to my own detriment, because I no sooner would get a video uploaded and then I'm trying to get out another one because some rudimentary thing changed. So I feel like if I can get, even a couple out a week, and that's good with people, that'd be awesome. I want to get back to trying to get out one a day. I feel like there's no reason I can't do that, especially now with, like I said, the chest simmering down. And as far as the start of the football season, we'll be more than ready for that. But yeah, there's a lot of big stories. So, if there's something specific you want me to go into, as I always say, just please let me know in the comments. That's the best way for me. That's why I always like seeing other people's opinions. And I always say, as I always say, if you disagree, as people do, please let me know, why you believe it's definitely going to be the Lakers. I know I got a few people that have said the Lakers from the beginning, so you guys get credit. I didn't forget you guys. Whenever people bring things to my attention, I am the first to, admit it. So, but yeah, I do like the Warriors' Suns, just being honest, and I really like the Sixers. So we'll see if the preseason, for, first time in a bit, if our preseason finals winner or, champion winner holds. The Sixers is looking good to me, and I think, still enough money on Boston that I really do think that the Sixers will get it done. The bigger question will be if the Suns come back and win in the desert, and I think they will. So again, this is a great time, I think, to get in on the Suns. So thank you everyone for, it's been patient and making sure I've been all right. I have been, like I said, I just kind of went from having some time to not, and makes it a little more difficult. But yeah, I'll be trying. I will get out tomorrow's lines for Boston Sixers. It may change. I can say at this point, looking now, I love the Celtics to cover. Like I said, I believe the Sixers are going to win, but I don't think it's going to be an easy ride. So 9 points, coming off a loss. I could see a lot of people liking the Sixers plus 9, liking the value. But we won't get ahead of ourselves. Just in the off chance I don't get it out tomorrow, I would go Boston minus 9 unless something really weird changes. So again, thank you everybody. It really means a lot that, you guys have stuck with me, and I know when I don't post for a few days, it's not going to get recommended, but I still have a very, loyal group of people that really keep the channel afloat, where I don't have to kill myself doing 4 or 5 videos a day just to not drown. So that really does mean a lot. It shows in the analytics, and it's nice. It just makes it where, as like I said, I like putting the videos out, but I also feel like, okay, if I'm sick a day and I can't get one out, it's not going to just kill all the momentum we've built. So we've kind of reached a spot where we can, take a little bit of a breath, which is nice. But I also like to do my best to give you guys actual content. So just wanted to explain all that and make sure we covered all of our games. And again, I've said it a bunch of times, but I do like to, I don't think this, can be said enough or overstated. If there's something specific that you guys want me to go into, please let me know, because I'd love to get a video going on, whether it's Kobe, whether it's, who do you think the best draft, guy in the draft is going to be, any of that stuff. I have been observing a lot of things, so I've been observing a lot of stories, DeMar Hamlin, Pat McAfee, all these different things, and I'd love to talk about one of them. But of course, I only want to talk about what you guys want to hear. So take care and happy earnings.